episode of Flip or Flop. And today I am here with one of my most favorite people in LA, Charlie Werner. Charlie, tell the people who you are.
I'm Charlie Werner. I'm just a CX consultant. I focus on tech stack integrations, which is why obviously I know you and the Flip team. Workforce management, growth planning, kind of taking companies from kind of that Series A-ish, smaller, ready to scale, and setting them up for a scale, taking them through scale, hiring people, signing BPOs, nice. And going from there. Most recently was with Solawave, which is a beauty company, and now back to kind of consulting and working with some old clients, some new clients. So it's been a really nice couple of weeks since I left.
Good. Charlie, I had to ask, have we signed you up as a Flip ambassador yet? Because we should.
Not officially.
Okay, I'm going to make that happen.
I recommended you guys, but not as an
ambassador. I want to get you paid for those recommendations. Also, I need Charlie to show the people what it is that you are wearing.
Oh, yes.
These are limited edition. You only get one if you are, in fact, a flippin' legend, which is, so.
Yeah, I'm trying not to boom my mic. But yeah, flippin' legend, it was very generous of you guys. I really appreciate it.
Do you feel a little bit like Batman wearing it?
Batman, more Robin because Sam and Brian and you guys are the Batman. But
I look like Batman today, don't I?
No, maybe I'll give you Catwoman.
That's fair.
Because you got the beanie on. So.
Yeah, I do. I look like I could rob somebody. Yeah.
You're also incredibly intimidating as a person. So
am I really?
I'm terrified of you. I'm like I don't ever want to Christina. I don't. You're the nicest lady ever, but I do not ever want to see your bad side. Yeah,
I mean, one, I will cut a bitch. Two, if you make me cry, it is the most devastating thing. When Christina cries, it is like Italy falling into the ocean. The devastation, unreal.
I won't
unreal. Thank you. I don't think you could, but
I'm kind of the opposite. I don't let people see me cry, except my wife, and I'll cry at movies, but upset crying like that, I generally avoid it unless it's a funeral or something where it's expected. Because
I don't. I want people to see that because I want them to feel it.
No, I get really petty, and I kind of snippy and passive aggressive, and then afterwards I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna cry because they hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been passive aggressive. I think I've just been aggressive on account of my height. When I was a kid, my doctors always said Christina's gonna be really tall, she's gonna be 5'10", and I thought, great, I'm gonna be a fucking supermodel or a newscaster. And the newscaster thing, it went out the window pretty early because I have a very small head. And newscasters, they're like bobbleheads, big giant noggins.
And the perfect hair all the time.
All the time. And
sprayed beyond all belief.
Yeah, I'm not cut out for that life. But then in 5th grade, I was always a taller kid in class, never the tallest. But 5th grade, I suddenly stopped growing.
Oh boy.
And I was like, okay, no, my growth spurt's just gonna come later. It never came.
Just never came.
And then I blew a disc in my back, so now I'm a true 5'4", mad as hell about it.
5'4" is not short though. I mean, it's still average.
It feels short when you are at the grocery store and the thing you need is
up top.
Up top, yeah. And I'm not currently wearing heels because of the back, yeah. And it makes me just a little bit more irate. But yeah, anyway, we're testing wings today. These are from Starboard.
Yes.
Yeah, they're from Starboard. I got us just a mess of things. We've got buffalo, we've got barbecue, we've got Parmesan, we have bone-in, we have boneless, we have a mix of both, we have a whole mess of sauces here, and we have some drinks. We've got Alameda Soda Co's root beer and their cola, and then some mystery juice that doesn't have a label. So yeah, we're gonna get weird. Okay, what do you want to start with?
Okay, so because I'm a purist and I'm, from Buffalo originally, I gotta start with the buffalo.
I was hoping you would say
just to judge.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that'll kind of inform me on how the rest of this is gonna go, I think.
All right.
But yeah.
Let's get silly.
Okay. Do you want a flat or a drum?
I was just gonna ask you. I am a flats girl.
See, I am too. So we'll split up. Well, I'm a flats girl, yes.
Yeah.
We'll split a flat.
Okay.
Well, we'll just do a flat each, I guess.
Yes. Yep.
Do you know how to clean a flat?
So you're gonna hate me. I sort of pick at it like a bird, and then my fingers are all gross. But I eat it like I'm dainty.
Okay. Now let's see if I can do the clean.
I'm not even gonna attempt it.
Well, I got to give you guys some really good footage of me looking like an absolute heathen. So
I've been doing it all week, and I'm having a great time.
We'll find out.
I can really hear the answer to your guys' mouths right now.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. It was always my party trick in college, was that I could clean a wing. But realistically, it was just...
Is that how you charmed your wife at that party?
Oh, absolutely. It didn't have anything to do with me just not leaving her alone for like 4 hours.
I need you to tell me the thing that you're so fired up about in the customer experience realm. What is your CX hot take while we're eating hot wings?
Hot take on hot wings. There's a few. I think I'll stick to... I don't even know if this is so much a hot take anymore, but one of the things that I deal with the most when people are kind of nervous about AI, right? Yeah. And I use this just because where you guys live and where I love to use Flip is this fear of we're going to replace people. And the hot take is that, I guess it's not even a hot take in the CX industry anymore, but AI is actually the best thing that can happen to a CX team because it just lets people specialize or grow in something they're interested in. Or, if you have somebody who's really a rock star with, if you're a food company and you have an allergic reaction, well, yeah, you're not going to let AI take care of that. Let the CX team, and they can specialize, they can focus on other interests in their lives so that they're not just handling a million where is my orders or, things that just are the reason that monotone and burnout exists in this industry. When I was still in the call center, answering calls, working these tickets, it was right before the AI boom kind of happened. One of the most agonizing things was I just worked my 15th, where is my order ticket in a row.
Oh, geez.
And yet those are important, but at the same point, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to answer the same question over and over again. And I think that hot take is, I think the biggest fear that a lot of people have is, it's the exact opposite of reality. The fear is, it's gonna price people out of a job. And the realistic thing is, it lets people move into areas that they're a lot more interested in instead of just focusing on the low-hanging fruit. And I think that's been the best thing that's happened over the last few years. And the number one thing that I still see, especially from more established companies that aren't really in that startup world, those that I've talked to that are more enterprise level, the fear is, that change is going to be a big negative. And realistically, it just makes everybody's lives so much better.
We've heard this recurring theme this week of let's let the AI do the things that humans don't need to do. Yeah. Let's open up the doors for humans to take over on the issues that need them more. They need the flexible thinking. They need a human, they need a human skill set that AI just doesn't have. And for me, when I joined Flip, I was I don't know how I feel about AI. I don't know if I can do the AI thing, but as soon as I understood the product, it was like, this is it. Because I'm a creative through and through. So the thing that scares me the most is when I see AI doing very human things that require a soul, like art. Like, I don't want AI doing art. I don't want to see it. I want AI to only be doing the things that AI should be doing. Like, I want an AI that can do my laundry, not paint for me, you know? And I think that the thing that I love so much about Flip is it's solving a problem that is there. There is a need, and it's solving for a thing that AI should be doing anyway. Because no person, no human needs to be answering 15 calls in a half hour that are, where is my order?
Yeah,
it's dumb.
The biggest spoiler alert of anybody to the consumers in the world is 99 out of 100 times, that agent is just going to look at the FedEx tracking and say your package is in transit. I can't, like, they're looking at the same thing that you as the consumer are looking at.
Yeah.
So where the human element kind of comes in is like, oh, can we follow up after the supposed delivery date? What's the SLA? But at the same point, Flip can snooze a ticket.
Yeah.
You know, Flip can say, hey, we see that your order hasn't moved in 3 days. We see that we, you know, said that your estimated delivery date or SLA on this is Friday. So we're going to snooze a ticket for Saturday. And if we see it hasn't delivered, we'll offer you the refund. We'll have an agent reach out. Then you can call it an escalation.
Yeah.
And you've done all of that legwork and deflected a call and had all of that transfer over to a follow-up that might not even happen. If it delivers and we see it's delivered, okay, great, close the ticket out. You don't need to follow up. It's just makes lives a lot easier so that you're not answering and giving an answer that people already technically have available to them.
Right,
you know?
right. And Flip can also just surface data that might not be in the most convenient spot for an agent.
Yep.
I mean, you're working with so many different systems, and not all of that makes it into the help desk where an agent lives. So with Flip, it's plugged into everything so that it can best answer the questions that you want it to answer. And you know, I get to demo Flip all the time, and when I ask it something as simple as, where is my order? It tells me your order is on its way. And then it tells me where it was last seen, when it's expected to arrive, and what to do if it hasn't when it's supposed to. And it's like, it's so easy, and it happens in an instant, and it sets your customer off on their merry way, knowing that they have the information that they were looking for, and your agent is busy working on a problem that they actually want to help solve. I'm the kind of marketer where, like, I can sell anything. But me as a human being, I don't want to sell things that people don't need.
Exactly.
I like to use my powers for good, generally speaking. Generally, I like to use my powers for good, and yeah, Flip for me is, like, it doesn't get much better because it's such a solvable problem, and it's doing it in such an elegant way, and it's unobtrusive. Like, there's no training that needs to happen on it. It just does the thing that it says it's going to do when it says it's going to do it. And yeah, for my Pisces brain, it's just like, look, we just created this happy little thing, and it creates happy little things all over the place. I'm a Bob Ross at this point. I love that that's your hot take. I have to move us on to the next thing. I'm smelling these things, and
the smell is like,
it's distracting.
Maybe
right?
I made the mistake of not eating lunch before I came here because I knew I was going to eat more and I didn't want to be full, but yeah.
I got all of this for 2 people. I don't think we're gonna, and I'll send you home with it. And I think while I'm doing that, just get the Aloe Yoga logo on there, Aloe. I wore this today because I want you, as a customer of Flip, not to do like a weird product placement thing. Like, this is not brought to you by Aloe, but it should be. Okay, all right. Which wing do you want to try next? We've got the garlic parmesan, and then we've got the barbecue.
Up to you, because I picked that one, so now you got to choose the second one.
I'm gonna choose this guy because it's just sitting right there. Do I throw something crazy into the mix and have us test it with the honeycomb?
That is up to you if we want to live life dangerously.
Who do you think I am? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right, okay.
Who do you think I am?
Who do you think I am?
Is that the honeycomb?
No, this was malted cookie dough.
Yeah, I've got the
Here, you can
honeycomb
toss it.
in my hand.
Because that's going to get moisture all over your fancy equipment. So.
Okay.
Oh boy.
This is riveting content.
You got to like just punch in on the lid getting opened. And it's a solid ASMR moment right there.
Yeah, QVC is absolutely gonna hire me after this.
Yes. Oh, just look at that. That's just a wonderfully even spread.
Wow.
You have to just have the low, kind of monotone, but still really interested voice. Yes.
Yeah, it also comes in seafoam green and lavender, and it can be yours today. There's only 36 of these left, so get them while they're hot. Oh, okay, spoon.
With 5 easy payments of 5 cents.
Yes. Well, or $49.99.
Yeah, five. Yeah, for 1 pint.
Plus
of
shipping
ice
and handling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, oh boy, that was more than I thought it was gonna be. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I love that I'm just gonna throw this on top of a bone. Oh.
I probably should have taken my lactate today, but yeah, I like to live life dangerously.
Yeah. We've committed. I don't know where to put this.
Oh, that's really good. My spicy take is that lactate is for quitters.
It's like an EpiPen. Like,
no, my
EpiPens are for quitters.
My wife is gonna hate me later for not taking it, but
Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm not gonna try this before I dip that in it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Cheated.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Like, you do you. You do you. You're my guest here. I'm just.
This is gonna be very intriguing.
Okay. So you get like a bone there, and then some ice cream, and then we've got a deep fried breaded thing.
Cheers. Honestly, it's really not bad.
I'm so happy. Wow.
It's really good.
Wow, I feel like some kind of weird genius right now. Yes. Do I dare like dip it in a barbecue sauce?
With the ice cream?
Yeah.
Do it. I'm taking one too many bites, but I'll circle back on the dipping sauces.
That Parmesan garlic thing is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, oh God.
If I'm doing a non-buffalo wing,
yeah,
garlic parm or lemon pepper are my two
I'm
go-tos.
gonna say it right now. This is the most chaotic thing I've done all week.
It's really good. With that one?
The barbecue sauce.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. What did I just do?
Okay, I feel like I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna steal another little piece, so I can try it with the.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for number 2 because I like that combination so much.
Okay, so you did ice cream then barbecue?
I did an ice cream then barbecue sauce.
I like to live life dangerously.
Yeah. We're really doing it right today. I'm so excited about this.
Don't disown me, Mom.
My mom already doesn't know what to do with me. She won't be surprised at all at this.
And now, my turn to ask you the question. When did you join Flip? Because you were pretty early.
I joined Flip in May of 2022. So we are coming up on my 3-year, which is
Insane.
wild. Wild. Like, it feels like a decade ago and 9 months ago, all at the same time. You know, when you work at a startup that's growing as fast as we are, time is not a thing that really exists. Like, things are just, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is today, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But yeah, I joined just a couple of months after we officially launched into the e-com and retail space. So we had been in transportation for a few years. And when I joined, it was like, we weren't even calling it AI because that wasn't a thing yet. We were calling it just voice automation. And I remember when I joined the company, it was like, I got it from the instant I joined, because back to that, like, this is AI solving a problem that an AI can and should solve. We got, on my second day at the company, I hadn't even like gotten my computer yet. We got a Slack alert that this luxury shoe brand was rejecting us. And they said that they didn't want to work with us because their clientele wouldn't be excited about talking to an AI. And I love that you're going for a second wing. Are you going to dip it in something weird?
I'm going to do it in the ice cream.
Genuinely one of the best combinations I've ever tasted in my life.
Wild, wild. Okay, so second day, we get this rejection and I see it and I'm like, no, I am your customer. I am a luxury shoe kind of gal. I am wearing Gucci loafers today and they have chicken wings on them. And so me being, thank you. Gucci, look, Gucci, there's no longer chicken on my loafer. Do you want to work with us?
Chicken loafers.
Chicken loafers. Next I'm gonna get ice cream and barbecue sauce.
Just complete the trifecta.
Yeah, I was just like, this is dumb. You don't know your customer very well.
Yeah.
Because your customer is me, and I'm sitting here, and for me, like, white glove service is not sitting on hold. White glove service is not taking a lot of time to do a simple thing. For me, white glove service, especially in the internet age that we are all a part of, whether we like it or not, white glove service is immediate service, thorough service. If I can have self-serve service, that's an ideal scenario. So I immediately was just like, fuck that, no. And I wrote a response to it, and it was up on the blog on day 2. Unfortunately, doing that much action on day 2 at a company has set up new people at Flip pretty poorly, because now that's the measure.
The expectation is you come in firing.
And not everybody comes in as firing as KK, which is why I've been here 3 years. You know, I fucking love it. It's a wild
I mean,
ride.
the way you guys change and renovate or deploy something new, or, you know, take customer feedback and say, okay, hey, we need to do this because enough Michael Ludwigs of the world are yelling at you.
He's coming tomorrow, and I'm
goodness.
so excited. I bribed him with socks.
I love that dude. I'm pretty sure I've met him like once in person, so he's probably like, who the heck is this guy that's talking to me up right now?
When you two met, I remember we were trying to get Solawave, and I'm like, Jake, he wants to talk to Michael. Can you just like...
We had kind of been in like secondary circle for so long, where he had worked with a lot of engineers that I know at Customer, and as soon as I saw him there, I was like, okay, I need to meet this dude. And
he does not disappoint in person.
No, he's such a rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's like everybody that you've been talking about it, you know, Jessica after me, Zoe, like every time I meet somebody that is kind of in this Flip circle, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the right place. These are my people.
Yeah.
But B, I almost like it gave me imposter syndrome, because there's so many badass people, and I'm just like, there's no way that I'm in the same even remote circle as these people who are just rock stars in the industry. And you know, that first day that we met, Jessica was one of the speakers. Michael wasn't even a speaker, but I had to meet him, and Anne, I think, was one of the other ones as well.
Not Anne Dyer.
No, it was.
Yes.
And it's just insane seeing all of them, and then, you know, going out to dinner afterwards and getting to meet Sandy and the Armor team, and that was really kind of my first, like, you guys, you know, Fredo actually invited me and then passed me off to Jake, and I like kind of immediately was like,
before he joined Congress.
Yes, before he joined Congress. Yeah, that day immediately I was like, oh, these are the people. I need to pick their brains. I need to learn from these people. But B, yeah, the passion that exists for AI, but just for service in general, you know, and for you talk about white glove service. I mean, these people are the white glove people, right?
Yeah.
They are putting together for every single industry, you know, in that e-com category, it just these stellar and really customized things. And I think that's one of the big things with Flip is that, you know, e-commerce is such a behemoth of different industries all rolled into one.
Yeah.
But all doing similar things, but have to do them differently because of any number of different things, right? If you're shipping food product, the people at Armor are, you can't really snail mail it, or you might have shipping requirements. You might have to ship refrigerated. Like, there's a bunch of different things, and then Flip can just sit there and say, great, you do things differently than this person does. Our product is going to accomplish both of those just because you switched the intent to do it differently. So it was a really good example of that, where, you know, that CX team also doubled as sales, which was a big thing for us. So we're actually not deflecting some things because they're sales opportunities that could have been deflected, but then we're also passing other things off that some people might escalate because they have to be, like, you know, an adverse reaction or something like that, where most people are probably going to fall into a frustrated queue on that, but we also absolutely need a follow-up ticket to be created. We need that documentation there. We need that information gathering, and Flip is going to help with that, or they're going to pass it off because it's going to be passed off no matter what, because we need the paper trail, right? So it's so customizable, and that's the thing that newer vendor with Flip, or not vendor, newer partner with Flip, that first day when I was seeing just a million different people from different subcategories of e-commerce all saying this thing works awesome for us, and then hearing, oh, we do it totally differently than that person, that's what I love, right?
Yeah.
Because customer experience, CX, customer support, it's not a plug and play, right? It has to be different every single time, and if your partners like Flip aren't able to handle multiple cases, then they're not gonna survive, right? You're not gonna be going into Series A. You're not gonna be landing these big fish clients and really being really successful with that. And, you know, you mentioned the whole idea of self-service. I think there's two areas that AI is gonna eventually land. One is in, like you said, automating the low-hanging fruit, right? The Wizmos and that type of stuff that doesn't really require a ton of human interaction.
Right.
The other is in self-service. One of the most famous things for me is, oh, my customer experience team is, you know, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Well, if somebody needs an order modification at 9 p.m., sorry, by the time we get to it, it's going to be past the order modification window. It's going to be sent to the, you know, to the warehouse, and it's too late.
Right.
So if I can call Flip, and Flip is connected into Shopify and can just make a modification, can change an address, can change a size, can do whatever that looks like, great, self-service is done. So that's I think that's where it's that, and to your other point that you mentioned earlier, it's the data, you know, data collection, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this might actually be my better spicy take, is that CSAT is dead. Spicy take.
That is a very spicy take. I like it. I like it.
CSAT is dead in that every single person I talk to is, my engagement on my CSAT ratings is dropping. My response rate is dropping. My blah, 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 blah is dropping. Well, yeah, it's dropping because I got a CSAT for my interaction with this company. I got a CSAT for my interaction with the plumber. I got a CSAT for my, and they're all just falling into my email. And frankly, I know my conversation with you is done. If something else pops up, I'm probably just gonna mark it red. So we're not collecting that immediate feedback there. And I don't think it's ever gonna go away. I say dead, I should mean being retired, because there's always going to be
evolving.
Yeah, there's always going to be a point for pointed responses that are really beneficial for voice of the customer, for things like that, where you can take that direct quote and plug it into your site, or plug it into, if it's negative feedback, plug it into your product team and say, hey, we're screwing this up. Like, that immediate feedback is going to be great and valuable, but it doesn't, I don't think it anymore, it doesn't give you that full picture. That because the rates are falling, and there are ways that you can try to delay it and try to send a text CSAT, and you might have a better bet in certain channels, might have a better smiley face after a chat. The data that you can collect from scraping, right, from your intent recognition, for example, or frustration recognition, these types of things where you're much more intelligently collecting data as it happens, is where it needs to start going to. That's where AI, in addition to self-service, if it isn't self-service, collecting data on the fly, because people don't want to revisit a conversation and then supply it back.
Right. Well, and the reality with CSAT, and I think this is its big failure, which is why it is retiring, is that CSAT, it's based on customers' participation. So
It skews.
Yeah, so the happiest people will respond and the unhappiest people will respond. But there's a whole spectrum of people within that are not responding because they don't feel like they need to. The great thing about Flip and other AI products is that they're pulling sentiment from the entire conversation, even including, at least in our case, if someone gets passed from Flip to an agent, we're still hearing that, we're listening in, not in a creepy way. Some calls may be recorded. You can toggle that on, but you can also toggle that off if you want to just do something crazy. But yeah, it's collecting that sentiment, and it's giving you a much truer read on your CSAT. And there are issues with that too. Some people they don't sound as happy, but they're satisfied. So then you also have to look at, and this is where things get really interesting, is you get the read from the call, but of course, if the person that sounds kind of monotone and you have no idea if they're happy or sad, if there's a callback about the same issue, the issue hasn't been resolved. So that's a different score altogether. So I think for me, saying that CSAT is dead and dying, it makes so much sense because there's so many failures within it. And I think a much truer read is one that is across the board on everybody and surfacing that call level granular data on everybody. AI allows us to do that, which is just so rad.
It comes back to the data analyst in me. That's not the correct term, but when you talk about the data analytics behind anything, behind a product, behind a site performance, behind CSAT, behind CX performance, you have the qualitative and you have the quantitative. And CSAT is going to be fine for qualitative. There are a number of things that are going to be able to analyze, that can now analyze voice and just take a snippet out, or basically take the recording and say this is a highlight. That qualitative is always going to be valuable, right? Especially in the CX world and also like site performance world, that qualitative is valuable. But the quantitative, historically, you were trying to take qualitative data and make it quantitative, right? Quantitative, and hey, say your CSAT averages out to this, or you have your NPS that's fed from the same feedback, right? When realistically, the satisfaction score is directly quantitative for you guys. You can explain, exactly where this data is coming from, exactly how you score things. I always walk through that too because I'm a data nerd, and it's really important to now, for us, I think, cross-departmentally, cross-functionally, we're doing a disservice in CX if we're not collecting both of those, right? CSAT traditionally was the only way to do that, and you're trying to make quantitative out of qualitative, and now it can just live in the area that it should, which is qualitative feedback. This person said this, or we've had 5 people say they've had checkout issues, right? That is qualitative that we can then transfer over. But at the same point, it's not a true reflection of every interaction that you're going to get.
Right.
And and that skews the data, that skews your decision making. So you have a responsibility to everybody in the company to make sure that the data that you're getting is as robust as possible, which AI is the number one reason that you can do that.
Right.
So yeah, that's my hot take is if you're not using AI for CSAT or to supplement your CSAT for satisfaction, you're behind.
Yeah. I feel like CX is that there is so much that is a science to it, but at the end of the day, like what makes the greats the great is the art of it. And when you were talking about Michael, MJR, and Anne, and all of the others earlier, it's like these are people that, and honestly, I have to say, and I just punched my mic too. Oh my God, we're awful. And also I have to say, because I'm being a menace right now, the garlic parmesan in the cookie dough, I really liked it. The barbecue in the cookie dough, not so much, but garlic parmesan in the cookie dough, that's a flip. They're the greats because they understand that balance of science and art, and they just are that. But for me, these people, and you, and everybody that I get to talk to this week, I'm having the best week. They make me feel like CX especially in e-com and retail, it's like my home place. I'm a marketer. I am a marketer. I am a brand content, like I am that. I am not someone that should be in you've got the goods all over your face. Yeah. And I love it. I kind of hope I do too. Like, should I just like...
No, you're way better at eating these things than I told you. I'm going to look like a heathen by the end of this.
That's great. That's good. Like look at what we are heathens.
I'm a savage, yes.
Yeah, we're dipping garlic wings into cookie dough ice cream. But was it good?
It was really good. I must admit that once my family sees this, because I send everything to them, once my family sees this, I might be out of the will, but I can, you talk about like the intersection of science and art, right? Like now that kind of interpersonal skill or that kind of art thing for me is like, as a consultant or even as a full-time person, if I am, full-time with somebody, is each person has a different puzzle to put together. And where the kind of science behind that is like the structure, right? Flip can integrate with X amount of other things, and if they don't integrate with something, you better believe I'm going to be on the horn with you guys, or be like,
we'll get it done in a couple of days.
Yeah, get it done. Making sure that everything is talking to each other. But then the line that I stole it from a friend of mine. His name is Ben. He always used to say it was one screen or one dream, right? You want your agents on one screen, never leaving, right?
Yep.
In e-commerce, that means you have to integrate Shopify or, Adobe Commerce or, well, it used to be Magento, but now it's all just Adobe Commerce. And all of this information has to be readily available within the help desk so that science gets it there. But then how are you displaying it? How are you presenting it? How are you creating that experience? Because science data doesn't create an experience that's beneficial for people. Right? People do, and interaction does. And you talk about website design and everything like that. Website design does, and performance does, and making sure that all of that intersects cross-functionally, both with a product team and making sure you have a product in e-commerce that is going to work. Making sure that you're not so hyper-focused on, not making sure that you're so focused on the quantitative that you're ignoring the qualitative, that you're ignoring the brand, that you're ignoring the voice that, like Flip has like 8-10 different voices that you can choose from.
More than that. So we are, by the time this comes out, we will hopefully have announced, I don't know. I'm just going to spill the beans.
We both mug to the camera, and I'm not even in front.
You're also in marketing.
Yeah.
We are now partnered with 11 Labs, which means we have access to thousands upon thousands of different voices, and we're testing them with different brands, because what's going to work for a Princess Polly is not going to work for somebody like a Hexclad, right? We can have 10 or 15 voices in the portal for people to choose from, but that doesn't mean it's going to be right for their customers. So we now have the ability to A/B test different voices to see what your customers actually respond to, what they actually engage with. And
If Michael doesn't get Gordon Ramsay as his,
okay, so I've been wanting this for months. So the thing, and Michael knows this, and I'm glad that he's coming here tomorrow because I get to bug him about it. Oh yeah, we gotta try the sodas too. I'll pop open the root beer. The thing that is at the very top of my bucket list is to have Gordon Ramsay yell at me. I want him to call me an idiot sandwich or whatever else he can come up with. I really need that.
Yeah.
Like if Gordon Ramsay could make me cry.
Life complete.
Oh my God. I told Michael, like, we have to make this happen. We have to make this happen. And then, of course, cheers with our craft soda.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, Alameda Soda Co.
It's good.
Ooh.
It's real sugar.
Oh, that's a good root beer. Oh my God. Are you a root beer fan?
Yes, that's good. I almost took it straight down the wrong tube, and that would have been the funniest outtake of the
if
day.
we're both choking.
No, that would have been. I have a really big
is
problem.
pretty good.
It's good. Do we
Yeah.
take that one?
Yep. But yeah, I was talking with Michael, and I'm just like, we have to make this happen. But then, of course, like with somebody like Gordon Ramsay, I could just upload a bunch of his videos to 11 Labs and just have it create the voice, but we've got to have him
Sign off on it.
say this is fine. So yeah, that was the thing. Still has not happened yet, but damn it, it will.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really exciting though, because
Yeah.
CS people that ignore brand guidebooks annoy me.
I mean, marketing is everybody's job.
Marketing, yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody's job.
and-
Just like customer experience is everybody's job.
Yeah,
Everybody.
exactly. And Solawave, it was a great example of that. We had that brand, like we knew what that voice wanted to be, right? So we're not going to have some dude
Right.
answer the phone, right? We
Right.
have a specific ideal person
Right.
that is answering that phone, right?
Right.
And obviously that's not how that works with human agents, but
But it can work with your AI.
tying in that AI from voice tone to then as you shift it out, making sure that the AI seamlessly works with whatever text-based AI you're working with to make sure that the tone and the interaction is the exact same, and then making sure that before you launch that, you're coming back to your brand team saying, hey, not only is the design of this, if it's a widget or something, good, is the voice the right one? Now with 11 Lab, like, okay, great, this Jane Doe that has lived in the United States for 15 years, but was actually from London originally, so still has that tweak of a London accent. That might not be the voice you want. You might want
Valley Girl.
the Valley Girl, which please don't. I live in the Valley. Please don't.
Trauma. Like that's
So much trauma behind that accent.
I'm gonna have to get everybody like a gift certificate to a therapist after this.
Oh my God, this voice AI is just so amazing. Oh my gosh. There we go.
You're enunciating too much, Brent.
I know. You gotta have what's it they call it, the vocal croak or something like
Vocal fry.
It's fry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
It
my
works for
God.
some brands, but the thing that I'm so excited about with these different voices and like our AI was cool before stuff like this came along, but then it came along and now it's like, oh shit, we can get really cool now. But where I'm so excited is like, of course, every brand is gonna have a different customer profile, and you need the actual voice to register
that.
with that. But then I think about like brands that have a really strong celebrity face. I think about Skims. I think
I
about
was literally
Hexplat.
just thinking about Skims.
Right.
Because I know I was just making fun of Valley Girls, but what Kim Kardashian has done with Skims as a brand,
yeah.
I'm like,
It's brilliant.
wow.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, it would be easy just to tie it in and it's like, this is Kim Kardashian's brand, but that's not what they're going for.
No, they're not.
And so I joke about, you make Gordon Hexclad's voice, and everyone I think would think it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
But if Kim answered the phone at Skims, it wouldn't land the same way, right? And I love that she is that face of that brand, but that she's made so much effort And they've made so much effort as a brand to make sure that, like, I think so much of the Kardashian image is they're the Kardashians, you know? Look at they. And Skims said, no. No, this is a we thing, you know? And my wife loves Skims, like loves how they work, loves the shapewear.
Even like they're just the basic tees are so good.
And well built.
So good,
Well
yeah.
built. I admittedly I haven't gotten they have the men's line now. I haven't gotten in on their men's line yet. I need to, but it's every person that I've ever talked to that's done Skims has just raved about it. And I love that they took that big name, really just specific image. Like Kim Kardashian is the epitome of a valley girl, right? Yeah. And said, yeah, it's Kim Kardashian, and she's not going to put out bad product because she is Kim Kardashian, but that's not what we're about, right? And they like, it's just a masterclass in marketing, in branding, and I mentioned kind of in passing, and having the product to back it up that is really, really good. And I like talk about learning from people that I didn't think 10 years ago I'd learn from. That's one of it, right? Like 10 years ago, if you would have told me I was going to learn things from Kim Kardashian, I would have laughed.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're brilliant marketers.
Oh my God.
Family. I mean, you say what you want about the show, who they are as people. Like, it doesn't matter.
Kris Jenner took a really bad thing and made it a $1 billion industry.
Yes, she did. Okay, we have had the soda. We have had the wings. We have had the wings in ice cream. We have had the wings in ice cream in sauce.
That might be the only flop of the day for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I wasn't a barbecue guy.
Yeah. With me that I liked it. I mean, I went in for like multiple bites of that. I don't.
No, that wasn't my thing.
Yeah. Yesterday was such a journey that diving into this was like, oh yeah, garlic parmesan chicken wing dipped into honeycomb ice cream dipped into barbecue sauce. Like, that's not weird.
You can't go wrong with a good wing.
I agree.
And this is a good wing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good wing. It is a good wing, and I like the packaging, and the sauces are decent, and that they work in ice cream. I feel okay about it. But it means that we have come to the end. But we have not rated yet.
Okay, we need to rate.
Yeah, so I want to rate all three of those
Great.
things.
Concoctions.
Yeah, yes. If I were to rate, I would say that the Parmesan garlic were my favorite. And then, of course, those. And then those were kind of a distant third. I wouldn't order those again. But, again, Desert Islands, I'm fine.
Still gonna eat them. Yeah.
The pairing of this with the honeycomb ice cream was the best ice cream wing pairing for me. It's all a flip for me. But I gotta know, what are you really thinking?
I'm thinking I don't want to answer this because then I get more time with KK.
That's so nice. You want to just hang out with Jess?
Well, I'm for sure gonna say hi. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I think flavor-wise and crunch-wise, because a big thing for me is texture of wings. In defense of Starboard, like these wings have sat for a little bit, so they're not going to be hyper crispy like if you were out right at the restaurant. But the garlic parm, because it was a dry rub, was crispy and really good. The flavor was really good. I am a purist through and through. The wing was really good. There is a tiny amount of breading on it, which a purist would tell you shouldn't exist, but really good. They did a good job with it. Like the chicken quality was really good.
Yeah.
Just the flavor wise for me, this barbecue wasn't really my what does Austin Powers say? Oh, not my bag, babe. The biggest flip for me was the garlic parm with that honeycomb ice cream.
So good.
Did not think I would ever try anything like it. I am happy I have, because you better believe that I'm going to do it again. Flop on adding the barbecue sauce to it for me. Flop on that. Too much flavor. But just those two alone, absolutely. But yeah, so I think everything was a flip except adding that barbecue sauce. I'm not going to say it was, but
I will say that it was a flip.
That's
the
why taste
sodas
buds are
were good too.
The sodas are really good. Yeah. Well, and the LA guy in me loves that it's natural cane sugar.
Yeah.
It's not, high fructose,
Right.
and, everything like that.
Yeah, I'm not a chemicals kind of gal. If I can't pronounce it, I don't want to eat it. I gotta know, like, what brands are you excited about right now? What brands do you want to work with? Like, who is your ICP?
ICP.
Ideal customer profile.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm a marketer.
I blame the hot sauce. No, I know I just got done ranting about Skims. I love what they're doing there. If like something like that where they have that brand knowledge, right? And I know they were actually just hiring some CX people, so something like that where that kind of e-com cross-sectionality. At the same point, I see a lot of companies that are maybe more legacy companies that are just starting in e-commerce that like I like as well, right? Where there's like Skechers, which obviously they have that online presence, but they're really booming in it now, and I think that would be a lot of fun for me. But really, it's just anybody that has a passion for their product, and that translates into their site, into their brand, and is ready to kind of take that step where it's maybe you haven't paid as much attention to the CX area or anything like that, or that there's changes that have to happen. I think for me that's where I really love is let's set up this team to continue the work you've done in branding and in really launching that product, right? The product has gotten from point A to point B because of you, because of the work that you've done, and because you now have that image in your head. Let's make sure that everything from AI to team, structure to team performance to everything is feeding into that, and that it's set up to go, right? Do the planning now and then reap the rewards of it. So yeah, the brands that are kind of in that space, it would be my ideal landing spot, either as a consultant if people are looking for fractional work or full-time. Spoiler alert for you, my wife and I are starting to try, she's not pregnant yet, but sooner than later we'll be starting that process. And so, some more consistent benefits would be lovely.
That makes me so happy. So we a million years ago, meaning like, I don't know, a year ago, we made little flipper onesies, baby onesies.
Oh my goodness.
I
yes,
know.
Please. Yes, please. It would be like first picture with the baby. Like, give me a size
that's
1.
That's how you start their LinkedIn profile is.
I should say no. First picture will be Buffalo Bills because
that's fair. That's fine.
Gotta be. No, Josh Allen, I love you. But second picture would be Flip. Yeah. Because
little flippers.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing with like Flip. It's such an easy, at this point, plug and play. Yeah. For so many people. Yeah. And why I love working with you as a partner, as an ambassador, whatever that looks like, is because, I talk about people that are in that area of growth or of planning and stuff like that. And a product like Flip is so easy for me to say, hey, there's your start to self-service. There's your start to true data collection. There's your start to deflection off of phone, which is a really expensive channel. It just is,
But it can be cheaper with.
Yeah, and you save money. You save money on cancellations. You save money a million different ways through that product. And so you can sit there and say, this is a plug and play, ready to go with your tech stack setup. It's going to integrate with your help desk. It's going to integrate with your Shopify. It's going to be able to jump in on day one and pay for itself. Yeah. So many people say that, you can launch in a week. You can launch in a week. You can.
Yes, you can. Yeah, I mean, the reality is that consumer behavior is, whether you're buying a coffee machine or a dress, like, your concerns are the same.
Yeah. So is it coming on time? Is it coming in one piece?
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly, the questions get more complicated when you're looking at things like aftercare, but realistically, with the super basic intensive Wizmo returns, it is plug and play, because all we have to do is plug in your terms and conditions, and boom, it's ready to go. Yeah. So, when we say that you can quite literally, if you want to commit to it, get set up in a half hour, that's possible with Flip, which is wild. And I love that, like, not only are we integrated with everything in the tech stack, we are both pulling and pushing data.
Yes.
So it's not that we're just pulling data and then it sits within Flip. No, we're pushing it back into the help desk so that your agents see it right there. And it's just such a powerful thing.
One of my favorite things ever to see in the morning was come and you see if there's any cancellations or anything like that you need to review. And I'd come in the morning and I'd see 6, 8 overnight Flip cancellations, and Flip has canceled these things. That makes my life so much easier to then say, okay, I don't have to stop it at the warehouse. I don't have to pull it off a truck. I don't have to do a million other things just because we took that kind of, like you said, 30 minutes. That's a easy setup. That's an API key and go forth for a cancellation, right? That is such an easy win. And like I said, that intro to self-service, that intro to white glove service, and extending that effort that people put into everything up to the purchase, and then taking it from that purchase and moving forward and saying, now you've made this purchase, or now you have this question, but even before the purchase, but all of those other things come in, and it's such an easy win for so many companies to come in and say, great, like on day one, I'm gonna start paying for the service. I'm gonna start seeing a reduction in cost. I'm gonna start seeing a reduction in talk time and all of these types of things. It's such a great thing. And so I've loved being with you guys for since I've kind of come on board. But yeah, that's to kind of circle it back for me. That's where my passion lies, is in putting the puzzle pieces together to make sure that everything is from start to finish. They visit the site till they leave the site, till they've gotten their product, is that same brand, that same image, the same white glove service. And that the technology is all feeding that, and the agents are all feeding that, and making sure that they're all intelligently fed decisions, which is a huge thing for me with you guys, right? I want to make a decision that's intelligent, that's based on data, and also based on brand and based on these things.
But I have been ending everything this week with like one really weird question, and then just a random song. What kind of mythical creature would you be if you were a mythical creature?
Ooh. It's tempting for me to go with like one of like the woodland creatures, right? Because just that's where I grew up. But I'm gonna say griffin.
Ooh, are you a Harry Potter fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Ironically, the Hedwig's thing actually came on my car on the way in here. But yeah, I am a Harry Potter nerd. But yeah, I think just griffin. I don't know. That's what popped into my head.
Yeah, they're cool. They're really cool.
Cool, regal. They can get places.
Yeah. What kind of mythical creature would I be if I were a mythical creature?
Is a unicorn too much of a cop-out? I know, like, not personality-wise, but, like, you are such a unicorn of a person.
Personality-wise, she's wearing head-to-toe black.
Head-to-toe black. She's a unicorn. No, I just mean you are a unicorn of a person. But, no, I don't know. I don't know what I would say to you, like, maybe because we were talking about aggressiveness earlier. Now I just can't get Medusa out of my head.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Medusa's fun, especially because we started this with you telling me that I'm intimidating, which I love it when people say that I'm intimidating, because
you terrify me.
I don't feel like I'm an intimidating person. I feel like I have the potential to look really scary, but then the second I open my mouth, it's like the bet's off. But with Medusa, I mean, she turns people to stone, which is so rad. If I had the
She's
power,
boss lady.
Yeah, she's boss lady. She's a boss lady, and shit's gonna get weird and kind of scary.
Right.
And that makes sense for the journey that we have been on today. Namely the barbecue or the garlic parmesan in cookie dough ice cream or honeycomb ice cream dipped in barbecue sauce. And with that, this has been a flip. This whole thing has been a flip. Thanks so much for joining me. This was
random song.
Oh God, random song. Oh God. Yeah, we've got to pick something. Fiona Apple.
Oh, fantastic.
Shadow Boxer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or actually, no, we're gonna go with Criminal because it's higher energy.
Well done.
And I feel like we've committed a crime here today with this ice cream.
Got away with it, though.
Yeah, we did.
Got away with it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. This feels right. This feels great.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. This was so much fun.